Hey, what's up everybody? It's another week and here we are back at the SR Synth Weekly. I am your beautiful and bald host, Synth Redneck. Got a lot of good stuff today. Got lots of great music, some new music, some people I've played before with new groups, and a whole lot of different styles that come up today. So let's just jump right in and get started. Okay, first of all, today we have our good friends Buzzing Sound Candy, and this is featuring Tom Wilson, and the song is called Electrified Pedestrians. Buzzing Sound Candy, we usually know them. I've played them a couple of times, but some things they've done some changes and things. And they've changed singers for this song. It's Tom Wilson for this one, and this one just gives me a lot of different things to work with here. It kind of gives me, though, on the main chorus is kind of like this sci-fi game intro. And what I mean by that is kind of like, the main theme of a future world where all is covered in night. Like you've seen all that, where everything's always night. There's rarely any daylight. And the world is all computerized. People in all the world are integrated with machines. They're kind of hybrids. They can jack into, into any computer or themselves. Hey, they're always jacking into things. No, and as the main enters the city, and as the song progresses, it shows, the world and the people along, and all the people around, and all the sights of the city. That's my main feel about it. It's one of those where it just gives me that, the main is showing up in the city for the first time, and he's getting the lay of the land, and they're just and it shows everything kind of like Omicron. If you've ever played that game, it kind of gives me that feel of that beginning. Also kind of gives me that the main in the group, that this whole team is, they've entered a club modification place. We've seen all those where everybody's like modified and everybody's like an outcast kind of thing. And they're searching for answers to find a person who matches what they're looking for. They've been modified heavily and they found the piece of the modification, and they're searching for the answers of what the modification was or who the person is. While the rest of the patrons, they're dancing and they're wondering about who the team is, and just having their own little side, kind of gives that little montage while they're searching for it. You see the club, and everybody getting modified and dancing around. Both of them could work in the same movie, but both of those just give me the feel of it. So definitely check it out today. It's a good start. So it's Buzzing Sound Candy featuring Tom Wilson, and the song is called Electrified Pedestrians.
Electrified pedestrians, walking in electric boots, boots in different colors, shaped by different moves. Walking like a moon. hotter than the brightest sun. We are electrified pedestrians, walking with electric boots, losing different colors, shaped by different moods. Walking like on hoverboards, faster than a horse can run. That's cool as ice, and hotter than the brightest sun. Walking like on hoverboards, faster than a horse can run. That's cool as ice, and hotter than the brightest sun. Charge the battery, charge the battery.
I don't know, like I said, it just works out. It just kind of feels that whole computerized world kind of feel where everybody's like hybrid and modified. That's just the feel I get, so let me know what you think, as always, in the comments, and make sure you follow them all. Next up today, we have Jigsaw Sequence featuring Kay Burden, and the song is called Never. Now the reason I said it that way is because, like I said before, Buzzing Sound Kidney did their little, they did some changes, and now we have Kay Burden, who with Jigsaw Sequence in this song, who did some work with Buzzing Sound Kidney. So I added them both on this show because they're always good to me, and I always try to be good to them. So this is Jigsaw Sequence with Kay Burden, and this song Never. It just gives me a lot of feel on this. This is a kidnapping story, and what I mean by that, and if you listen to the song, you'll be like, what? But bear with me for a second. This is like the main and his friends have, they've been kidnapped. I'm sorry, the main's friends or lover has been kidnapped, and they've been in a cell most of the movie. They've got their little expositions of, you've seen them in like a jail cell, like, he'll save us, they'll save us, and all this other kind of thing while getting, tortured or whatever. And they've been in there most of the second part of the movie. And then that goes through the whole sequence of the main beating the bad guy. And we see the place clumbering around. As the dust settles, we see the main showing up into the cell to rescue them. And, they save the group, opens the door, gives that whole... as the main and the lovers, they're finally back together, and we get that feeling of happiness. But at the same time, the main puts the hand out, like we've seen, come with me if you want to live, that kind of feel. But they've finally back together, and as they put the hand out, they've realized they're, finally back together, and thing, and just gives you that whole happiness, and at the same time gives you that, dread that they have to deal with of the rescue and everything else. So it gives me a little bit of everything on that. So I don't know. That's kind of the main thing I got with. I can do it with, yes. No. Also, kind of gives me that it's a secondary group was being terrorized, and by a group, then they're saved. You get that whole section. What I mean by that is like they get this whole section of, you get that secondary characters. They're being terrorized, and all of a sudden they're saved out of nowhere. And the song starts as the savior, whatever, kind of like they come out, and they're in a specialized suit, and nobody knows who it is, and and they show him who it is, which is the main character. The main lover, who was part of that group, is shown running to them as they thought the main was gone, and then all of a sudden they've come back with this whole new get up to save them. And as the song progresses, we kind of see the lover grab the newly returned main, but it's also sad because they know that with this new responsibility that the lover has, that they're going to have to go away and have to live their lives in a different way now. So both of them kind of give me that. But let me know what you think in the comments as always, and as always, follow them, and especially Jigsaw Sequence, because really good song. So check it out. It's Jigsaw Sequence with K Burden, and the song is called Never. I don't know. I mean, everybody's opinion is a little different on it, but that's just what I get. I don't know why I get the kidnap story and the saving kind of thing. So let me know what you think. As always, make sure you follow them on all the social medias, and check out the rest of their music. It's really awesome. Next up today we have, I'm going to screw this up. I meant to ask him when we were talking the other day. It's MisterMyr or MisterMyr. Either way, someone please correct me if they know, especially the artist. And the song they sent me today is called Midnight Driver. They're a Outrun synthwave group, and holy crap, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. They're out of Spain. I can't even try to pronounce the city they're out of, so I won't. Like I said, the song I chose today is called Midnight Driver. And this has a lot of stuff. This is from his mini LP coming up. And this gives me a lot. You know, as a synthwave group, it kind of gives me that computerized kind of theme. You know, like the main is working on a new program. It's allowing them to cross like a multitude of places, or the Technoverse. They're able to teleport, you know, crossing the Cyberverse, whatever. And it kind of gives us that whole feeling we're seeing them work on the program and the machines to allow them to do this. They do a lot of several test runs, which goes haywire. You know, like we've seen a lot of movies where, you know, the first runs always never work. And this one kind of gives me that feel where they do a lot of test runs, and then all of a sudden they got to beat a bunch of creatures that show up suddenly. And, you know, I got to beat them and take care of it before they can, you know, continue on. And then they're finally able, towards the song's progression, they finally get in where they can use the teleporter, and they go in for the first time, and they see these new worlds. You know, they see these new worlds and new creatures and new whole everything. And now they're kind of stuck because something happened, and now they've got to figure out how to survive and get back home. You know, we kind of like just see them, you know, just doing the whole fight as the song progresses. So it just gives me that feel. That's always what I always start with, because I like the Cyberverse kind of feel, especially if it's a lot of, you know, a lot of techno feel, technology, you know, glitch and stuff like that. Just gives me that feel. It also kind of gives me it could be the same, it could be on the same movie or same thing, but it's like the main is trying to save a friend by the means they know is using technology. We see them working fast to create a hybrid body to save them from death and everything, to make sure that they can survive. So they're rushing to make this hybrid body for them, and we see them putting it all together. Then as the song progresses, we see as I said, the parts coming together, and all of a sudden we see the friend getting turned on and saved, and, you know, the friend rises, or the hero rises, and they have questions, and you do this whole montage of them trying to get used to the body and what the body can do and why, you know, and what's going on. You know, that whole kind of feel for it, that whole montage for like the main storyline of the friend who's been turned into a, you know, hybrid. So it kind of gives me that on feel. It could work on both movies, you know, the teleporter and that at the same time. So let me know what you think, as always. Let them know what you think, because it's, you know, that's their music, not mine. So definitely check this out. Here it is. It's MisterMyr. I'm gonna go with that, and the song is called Midnight Driver. hopefully I gave the description pretty well, and hopefully they like it. But let me know what you think. Let me know what your description of this song would be, and all the other songs. Let me know what kind of feel you get from that. So definitely check out the rest of their stuff. It's really awesome. Next up today we have Velocity 128. And the song they sent me is called Stakeout. This is a group out of a synthwave group out of Washington D.C. and this is actually a kind of like a side group of Iterations and Jonathan Lim. You know, I've played Iterations many times before, and really good group. So this is kind of like a collab, kind of like different sides thing they do. So it's really cool. They use this first song played at every Betamax Video Club event held monthly in Washington, which I need to go check out. So, but it's a really cool song, but it gives me that feel of a, excuse me, of a, magic feeling. I don't know why. It kind of gives me a, the team has just been given powers by like this elder, or fantasy elder. I don't know why I put that on there, but, they're kind of standing in awe of each other's new powers and look. They're just got all these powers. Find out what they can do, and why they're chosen to be, to do what they're doing. And it's just in awe of what each, of all the powers we've seen, in that they've been given. As the song progresses, we see them learning, how powerful they are and how to use them. Like I said, they're just learning how to use everything, and it's just, it just gives that whole little, they're getting beaten. They're getting their magic and they're learning how to use it. They're kind of having a learning and good time at the same time. That's my first view on that. Also, when I start doing these lately, I've been kind of trying to do two different feelings, but they kind of fit on the same movie. So this kind of feels on the same thing. It's like the team is getting, they're overrun by the bad guys and they're about to get captured. After they tried to make this stand, and out of nowhere, the bad guys are taken out in the distance, and then all of a sudden this person arrives as the main hero, over kind of like that whole dust settling over the rise, with the gun raising or magic, whatever, and it's the main character who was supposedly killed in the first act. Now they're back stronger, they're better, stronger, shows them the ways, of who he is, who they are now, and the internal powers that each one possesses that they've gotten, and shows them how they can release theirs. And it just is the feel it gives me. Like I said, it works on both. It could work on he's the elder, and they're the, they've lost, and he's the elder and gives them the magic. So it kind of works on both ways. So let me know what you think, though. It's a really good song, but it's a really good start with. Just let me know what you think, and make sure you follow them on their social media. Here it is. It's Velocity 128, and the song is called Stakeout. I don't know. What do you feel? I mean, it just gives me a lot of feeling. I kind of like this, the fantasy, getting power feeling. That's just what it gives me. So let me know what you think in the comments. As always, make sure you follow them and follow their social media. Also, if you're new here, welcome. And like I always say, like and subscribe the videos. And make sure you just, hit that bell notification. And, every week, I got great new music and, just they need to be heard. So if you like it, subscribe and come join the fun weekly. Next up, we have our good friend Sapphira Lee. Sapphira V. Lee? I don't know. It's Sapphira V. Sorry, Janet. And the song they sent me today is Bring Back. This is back, it's a little earlier of her works, and it's really awesome. It's, they call this as she describes this song as a song what cyborg, this song is what a cyborg who wishes to be fully human again may lament. She goes, definitely the softer side of her. There's not a softer side of her. She's always mean to me. No. I'm kidding, Janet. I'm kidding. Don't kill me. No. No, this song gives me a lot more stuff. She told me that cyborg giving lament. I kind of expanded on that. This is kind of like the main character, and, they're watching over the area, and, kind of like that whole, kind of just set up as a soldier, watching over like a town area and just watching over for, evil to come up. But they're, he's watching areas told but wondering why they're there to save a world that's not theirs. That they were put there and programmed there. They want the life they once had, but can't figure out. They're getting spurts of, of their past, and they kind of want the life they once had before being modified into like a cybernetic soldier. That's kind of what I went with. They then just leave, they override their programming, and they leave to find themselves. And as we see as the song progresses, we see them having memory patches being shown of what their past life was before all the modifications and brain wiping. I use that in, kind of like with that cyborg team. So it kind of gives me that first feel. They're trying, they don't want to be, they want to go back to the life, they want to find out who they are, and it just, gives me that whole feel. Also, on a completely side note, this kind of gives me that, like, the main's lover is alone. We see them alone thinking about how the main has been killed. But, in the movie they've been killed supposedly, and that's what the main's lover thinks. And we see the memories they've had and the times together. While we switch back while the main is still alive, excuse me, but changed. We've seen the main, has been changed. Something happened, as they've become this different person at this time. But they had this weird feeling of pain of the lover fighting to beat the enemy and return to them. Kind of gives me, what I mean by that is, as we get that, it's a split scene where we know the main's alive, but the lover doesn't, and they've been told that the main's been killed. They're doing that whole memory of that, and all of a sudden it switches back to the main character who's, they've been changed. They're finishing their journey, but kind of can almost, I don't want to say psychically feel, but can kind of feel the pain of the lover, and knows that they want to get back to him as quickly as possible. So they got to beat everything and become this new person to do it. So it's kind of what I get a feel. So let me know what you think. She always has some great stuff to give me some visuals with. So definitely check out the rest of the stuff, and check out this song. It's a really good one, and it's Sapphira V, and the song is called Bring Back. I don't know. I kind of like the cyber thing better. The the soldier trying to find his memory and moving on. But let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you follow her on our Instagram. And, I'm sorry, all over social media. And just tell them I sent you. Next up today, we have our good friend Lance Haynie. The song they sent me today is called Over. And as always, he's a future-based artist out of Vegas. And what he sent me today is called Over, as I just said. And as they describe this, I'm not going to read it all because we'll be here till tomorrow. But what he did is he did it as a kind of a joke, but it ended up being really awesome. If you know some classical music, you'll understand this in the background. In the background of this, he put some of the lines from Mozart's Piano Sonata Number 16, which I heard when I was listening to the song, and could tell which parts it was. And it just gives me a lot of feeling with it, so it kind of worked on that, especially with his extra drums and everything. What I got from this, and I don't know if he'll agree with me on it, but it just kind of works because it kind of gives me that 80s, 90s magic teen movie. And what I mean by that is like those, it's always girls, always that girl that in these movies, they're the ugly duckling, so to speak, or the not confident ones, but they have the goodness and stuff in the prophecy, and the magic happens, when they get magic. Kind of gives me that feel of, that 80, 90 feel, the 80s, 90s feel of movies. So here's what I came from that. Bear with me. The main has found the magic inside of her, and which is unleashed, while the others who thought they were going to be the chosen ones, because they were always, they always were the, they were always the popular ones, and that whole popular versus outcast kind of feel, and they thought they were the chosen ones, but they didn't read the prophecy, and the one who is the main character, who is kind of like the outcast, but she has all the stuff that the prophecy and what the magic wants, and it's unleashed inside of her. And as the song progresses, we see her gaining her confidence, and gaining the confidence with the magic and learning how to do the magic, and showing that she can be the one while she defeats all the evil that's come around them, and just defeats the bad guy, which is the whole premise of the movie. So it kind of gives me that feel. It may not be a popular one, but it just gives me that feel. And the movies of the music of some of that stuff is really awesome. So I just like that feeling. So also kind of gives me the main is being shown knocked down throughout the movie, but when the time comes, they show that they're the strongest of the group by defeating all the bad guys. And as the song starts, it's kind of happened before, but the song starts and we see them standing over the rest of the group that was too scared to do anything. They were kind of like towards the movie, they were the group that he's standing over was like the main group, and then as he beats the bad guy, as they beat the bad guy, we see them cowering down and looking up and realizing they see them in a whole new light, and we just get this whole thing, and the friends and the main's lover or friend has come to them as the outro and epilogue ends. They've beaten the bad guy and realized that they weren't strong enough, but this person was, and now we know why. So it kind of gives me both those feelings. I kind of like the teen movie first, the magic movie first. So let me know what you think in the comments. It's a really good song. I really like the kind of like fusion of it. So definitely check it out. And here it is. It's it's Lance Haynie, and the song is called Over.
Before I get thinking over
So what did you think? Did it give you that teen feel or something completely different? Like I always say, let me know what you think in the comments, and make sure you follow them. Last up today, we have our good friend Positronic. I hope I say that right. I always feel like I'm going to screw it up. The song they sent me today is called Higher Point of View. As always, they're a synth pop group out of Corona, California. I played them a little earlier, a couple of episodes earlier, and wanted to add this one because it kind of gives me a good ending for today. This is a whole team feel. It's kind of like the team is beating the bad guy, and have returned to the city. It kind of gives us that feel, like I've said before. Each member of the group is shown returning to their loved ones, family, friends that were saved, and then as the song progresses, we finally get to the main character, who's last, and we showing them return to the lover, and they embrace eye to eye kind of feel. While as that happens, we pan out and see the rest of the city, that was in peril now dancing. Kind of gives that whole celebrating the world feel, and they're celebrating of what's coming. The fact that the evil's gone, and now they can start a new life. Kind of gives me that feel. It's just an ending feel. A return home happy feel. So that's what it gives me as the main one. Also, I kind of went on a completely different setup, but also kind of gives me the group has been trying to win against the bullies of the school, and finally they get their revenge. It's kind of like those old things where like a high school thing where the kids were being bullied and they get their revenge on the bullies. We see the bullies finally get what they deserve, and then move towards the epilogue with the group celebrating their wins, and realizing that they're a good friend group together, and they came by they came by for a common bond, but realize that they're friends together, and we see them as after they get rid of the bullies and towards the epilogue, they kind of realize that they're actually good friends, and they leave together and they move on as friends, while before they were just there for a common goal. So that kind of gives me what they feel. It just gives me a good happy ending for today. So let me know what you think as always, and make sure you follow them. It's really good stuff. But like I always say, make sure you follow them, and let me know what you think. Here it is. It's Positronic, and the song is called Higher Point of View.
Say that's not right. We don't see things the same way, but I hope to someday. Maybe you could show me how to see things your way. Oh, lift me up. I wanna see
I'd like to find a way instead of having strife. I wanna see things like you do. Oh, lift me up to a different point of view. Oh, lift me up to a higher point of view. Yeah, lift me up so I can see things like you do. A higher point of view. Oh, lift me up. I wanna see things like you do. Oh, lift me up to a different point of view. Oh, lift me up to a higher point of view. Yeah, lift me up so I can see things like you do. Oh, lift me up. I wanna see things like you do. Oh, lift me up to a different point of view. Oh, lift me up a higher point of view to a higher point of view. Yeah, lift me up different point of view so I can see things like you do. A different point of view, a higher point of view. I wanna see things like you do. A higher point of view, a different point of view so I can see things like you do. A higher point of view.
That's it for this week. I hope everybody enjoyed all the music today. As always, like I always say, make sure you follow them, buy their music, shirts, CDs, whatever, because that's how most of them make a living, and they deserve to be, they deserve your downloads. So check everything out. As always, check out the rest of my episodes, my past episodes for some more great music. Even if you don't like my talking on it, you can actually click. If you look in the description, you can actually click down on the time, and it should go straight to the song. So if you don't like hearing me talk, just click on the song. Anyway, again, I hope everybody has a great week. I'll see everybody next week. As always, if you want to be a part of the future show, please fill out the form below, and I'd love to have you. So as always, have a great week, and I'll see everybody next week. Later.